I'm Pete Holloway. I'm a retired financial advisor from Hazlitt, Bird & Watson, and as always, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to On Money. My guest today is Beth Zarate. She's the CEO of Catholic Charities of West Virginia. She's a native of Texas, although she said she was an Army brat and had been all over the country. She graduated from Southwest Texas University with a BA in administration and has run Catholic Charities in Lubbock, Texas, the Mamie George Community Center in Richmond, Texas, and has been with the Catholic Charities of West Virginia for 4.5 years. She has 4 adult children and 6 grandchildren, and I want to thank you for being with us.
Oh, it's a privilege. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, what is Catholic Charities? Could you tell us the history and a little about what you do?
Sure, I would love to. The thing about Catholic Charities is when you see one Catholic Charities, you see one Catholic Charities, because they're all very different. They grow out of the community and the community needs. And so in the early 1900s, there were good folks all over West Virginia providing charitable works. There were a lot of Catholic organizations doing food pantries, giving away clothes, helping people with bills. And so in 1931, under the direction of Father Joseph Daly, we took all of those charitable works and combined them into Catholic Charities West Virginia. So we are an independent nonprofit. We are a 501c3 under the Diocese of Wheeling-Charleston.
That's great. Now, mostly or completely you deal just with individuals. You don't give money, say, to the Red Cross or something like that.
Absolutely. And so our mission is to provide caring and compassionate services to folks in need. And we do a lot of work in terms of sitting down with folks, assessing their needs, setting goals for them, and then helping them in a way that moves them forward. I kind of think that our secret sauce is that meaningful and lasting change, because we want to move people forward. We want to move folks out of poverty.
About how many people are on your staff?
So,
statewide.
Yeah. So we have 15 offices across West Virginia and over 130 staff.
Wow.
We are small but mighty. We depend greatly on volunteers, especially here in Wheeling. In Wheeling, we have over 200 incredible, dedicated volunteers.
Wow.
We can always use more, but they are tremendous support to the work that we do.
Can you give us an example of some kinds of help that you've given to people?
Sure. So our work is, like I said, it kind of grows out of the needs in the community. So in the western region, in Charleston, we run a lot of mobile food pantries because there are some food deserts there and it's very rural. We also do work in addiction and recovery in the Huntington area. We have very strong adult education programs in Huntington and then in the southern region in Welch. We're actually the largest provider of social services in West Virginia. In the eastern region, we provide services around immigration and refugee work. We also do a lot of work where we provide one-on-one case management, like I talked about, where we sit down with the folks, set goals for them. We just had a guy come in the office the other day who his big dream was to get his truck driving license, his CDL, and he had been struggling with alcohol and he'd been struggling with paying his rent. So we worked with him for 6 months and he now has his truck driver's license. So we do strong food pantries, strong feeding programs, we serve the homeless, and we have a brand new program where we're putting Catholic Charities social workers into hospitals. And that's a very exciting program where we will work with vulnerable populations when they're released from the hospital, follow them home to make sure that they have food and that they can get their medications and they have everything they need to stay healthy so they won't readmit back to the hospital.
That's interesting. You were talking about the various regions of the state or cities within those regions, and each one has a very specific need. Obviously, Huntington has had a terrible issue with opioids. The Eastern Panhandle, you're talking about immigration. Well, I would think a lot of the people coming across the border would be heading towards, because that's right by D.C., Baltimore, and you would be getting that. How do you train your staff in so many different directions?
Yeah, so our staff is incredibly diverse. We hire them based on their professional experience, and so, I don't know, by the grace of God, we have 2 beautiful attorneys that work for us in our immigration work. One is actually from Fairmont, fluent in Spanish, and she works with us in Morgantown and in in the Martinsburg office, and so our staff mostly come for us with social work backgrounds. We're a professional social work organization. We hire staff in human services. I will tell you that Zoom's been very good to us in that it has taught our staff across the state how to Zoom, and so now we've moved a lot of our statewide trainings across the state. So every month we work with our social workers, we work with our pantry staff, we work with our addiction and recovery staff, and so I think we just hire staff who understand the mission of Catholic Charities. That is huge. We have a culture of generosity, gratitude, and grace. Generosity, that it takes generosity of your time and your heart to do this work. Also generosity of your patience. It takes gratitude because we have to know that it's a privilege to be in a position to help others. And it takes grace, because sometimes the folks we work with are not easy. And so I think we just start with hiring people with the right culture and the right love of serving others, and then we train them.
That's great. I've gotten myself into some kind of predicament. How do I approach you or approach Catholic Charities to see if you all can help me?
Yeah, so we have a number that I'm sure we'll put up, an 800 number that folks can call. They can come to any office across the state, and then
just walk in.
Just walk in, and you know what? Lately, we're doing a lot of work through messaging. I'm not the social media pro, but clients message us, and then we have somebody who returns that messaging, gets them to the right office. I guess they message us through our Facebook page.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. And what the Facebook page is?
Yeah, it's just Catholic Charities West Virginia. Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. Back to the individual that comes in, just to make those people more comfortable, you have absolute HIPAA privacy.
Oh, absolutely.
So if someone comes in with one issue or another.
Sure.
Now, if you've got bad issues like, say, spousal abuse, are you able to work with that? Or is that
we would refer them. Yeah. You know, when a social worker goes to school for training, one of the focuses of their curriculum is going to be how to connect resources. And so one of the first things we have to do when we hire a social worker is make sure they understand every nonprofit in the area, so we can connect them to the resources. And so we consider ourselves experts in resources and how to refer folks and where to refer them. We work very closely with our United Ways across the state. We work with 211, but we believe strongly in that kind of networking support.
Well, excuse me, that's great. Now, one thing, do you only work with individuals? You won't give out grants, correct?
Yes, we do not give out grants. Our work is committed to serving individuals who are in need and come to see us.
But you do apply for grants?
Oh, we apply for lots of grants. Lots of grants. We have a beautiful grant writer, and we apply for grants, you know, from everything for food and utilities to support folks in getting certificates, educational certificates, to pay for folks who need car repairs, wherever the need is.
Well, that's great. If, again, a person has a concern, they can come to you and get, it sounds like almost a smorgasbord of different ways they can be fixed. Could you give us a couple examples of some things that you've done for people?
Yeah, I mean, so we have a home care program where we work with homemakers who we train to go and work in the homes of vulnerable seniors or those who are disabled who can't get out. And so we have homemakers who will go into a home and see that a client doesn't have a ramp, like they can't get into their home because their ramp is broken, and so we'll coordinate home repairs for folks. We've worked with young mothers with children who didn't have childcare, and so we were able to coordinate childcare for them. I mean, it's just the breadth of services, and the reality is there's not a one of us that isn't a heartbeat away from needing help. And sometimes it's a child gets sick, or hours get cut at work, or you know, just something happens that throws people into crisis, which is incredibly stressful. And so even our refugee work is incredibly rewarding. We had a couple come, and he came from, I can't remember where he came from, but he had a a law degree. She had a pharmacy degree. And so in order to help them get certified so they could work here in the U.S. And so we provide a lot of support. I think we like to take each person, we don't set goals for them. We let them tell us what they need and where they want to go, and then we help them.
Great. Of course, I'm in finance. I assume the church helps a good bit. There are also donations and grants. If someone wanted to contribute to Catholic Charities, having heard this, how would they do that?
So they can call our office. They can make a donation online at ccwva.org. Or they can mail a check to 2000 Main in Wheeling. Okay. We are incredibly grateful to the generous folks in West Virginia. As a nonprofit, every year we do a lot of prayer around budget. We do a lot of praying because there's always more people that need help than we can serve. And so I think that's one of the hardest things that we do is making sure we're serving those who most need us.
How did COVID impact you all?
COVID was awful. It's awful for everybody.
You lost staff and you're still having to...
So, you know what, we never stopped one service. We just modified. And so where we were having people come into our food pantries, we were now pushing food across the table. We were not doing individual appointments. We did use Zoom and take advantage of Zoom. We never stopped any of our services. We kept them, but it was incredibly challenging on the staff, especially at our homeless shelter, which was used to 200 volunteers. During COVID, it dropped to about 3. And so our staff were just working their hearts out to stay on top of services so we could continue to serve.
And where is this homeless shelter? Or are there several?
Here in Wheeling, okay. Yeah. So in Wheeling, on our 18th Street, we run a homeless day shelter. We provide breakfast and dinner, and then we provide home-delivered meals to seniors and vulnerable folks.
I was just going to ask you if you do home delivery of food.
Yeah, and we count on our volunteers for that.
Okay, well that's great. Well, I want to thank you for your time. I enjoy your enthusiasm, and I'm sure the organization is well served by that.
Well, we always say we love this work. It's not easy, but we love it.
Well, thank you for all the good work that you do.
You're very welcome.
I'm Pete Holloway. I'll be seeing you next week. I hope you have a great week.
Hi guys, I'm Heather Melman. I'm a nursing major at West Liberty University, and today I'm going to show you around my hometown, Blair, Ohio. So first off, we're going to go into Gula's and grab some lunch. So growing up in Blair, it's a very close-knit community. Everybody knows everybody. Everyone knows you or your family. Everyone's very supportive. What I like most about Blair is just that family atmosphere. We are big on pride, spirit, and tradition. You know, you need to take self-pride in yourself, your teammates, whether it be in the classroom or just in general. Take a stroll around the Bel Air City Park. So I chose to go into nursing at West Lib. I went up and went on a visit that day and talking to the professors and faculty staffs and a couple other students actually to get a taste of what it's like to be a nursing student at West Lib. I knew then and there that I had to go find out a way, like how can I get here, what do I need to do? I chose nursing as my major because I really care about people, I want to help others, and just putting a smile on someone's face makes my day. So I just thought it'd be the best fit for me. So now we're going to head into my alma mater, Bel Air High School. So in high school, I was very involved in every club organization possible. I had a lot of leadership opportunities, which really helped me get connected to the faculty and staff at Bel Air, which we formed those connections and bonds, and just coming back and seeing them and just, you know, reconnecting was a great experience today. So just like Bel Air, West Lib is perfect to get connected, put yourself out there. The faculty are always willing to help you. They're there for you. West Liberty would be a great place for anyone from Bel Air. It's away from home, but it's close to home. So, you know, go up to school Monday through Friday and you're in a whole different atmosphere, but I am close enough to come home, see friends and family on the weekend. But you definitely get that sense of independence since you are out of your hometown. So now we're gonna head into DQ and grab something sweet. So another great thing about West Liberty is they offer the metro rate for someone like myself down here in Blair or in the area. They offer a metro rate where you don't have to pay out-of-state tuition, so it really makes it an affordable college experience. So West Lib has honestly become my home away from home. I love it there, and I always feel safe, comfortable, and I'm proud to be there. Thank you guys for checking out my hometown today, and be sure to check out West Liberty University.